So here in the great state of Minnesota, um, the Minnesota State Fair Board, I want to say probably with much urging from our fine Commissar Walls, made the decision several months ago that the state fair, done, gone, off the table. Today, they announced that there was going to be a state food fair parade where you could go and practice social distancing and get all your favorite state fair food. Now, in the day and age where we're incredibly worried about the health of people, and we have a governor who is seriously contemplating and probably going to implement mandatory facial covering for the entire state for anybody in public, at least in public inside of a building. Um, I'm taken a little aback by the idea that we have to cancel the state fair if face coverings work, and because we're worried about people's health, but then we're going to allow a state fair food parade where people can go and get all the stuff they love from the state fair. That's really, really bad for them. I would think that our governor would be very concerned about this and probably want to interject for the health and well-being of people, and say that no one can eat state fair food this year because we don't want them to get morbidly obese, have too high of cholesterol, take in too many sugars, or anything like that, because, you know, the health of the people. But anyway, as an aside, I want to bring up again the fact that our state fair has been canceled, except for the Black State Fair. Yep, you heard that right, and I'll be posting a picture. I'm not even kidding. There's going to be a Black State Fair in Minnesota, August 16th through the 23rd. Yep, the Black State Fair. It's a free event. It's going to be all black businesses. There's going to be food, merch, spoken words, a kids zone, resources for the black community, and a school supply giveaway. I don't know what we need school supplies for. Probably not going to be having in-person school this year. This is going to go Sunday and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Monday through Friday from 4 to 8 p.m. So it's going to be on Chicago Avenue in Minneapolis. And I just need to add here that one of their advertisements for the Black State Fair is it's going to be no violence. I'm literally at a loss for words right now. People, we have to wake up. This isn't normal. And when I mean normal, I don't mean like this shouldn't be happening. I mean, just juxtaposition. If a group of people got together right now and said, well, we've decided that because the state fair's been canceled and all this other upheaval is going on, we're going to have a fair for white people, and they're going to have all white businesses. And I know the accusation is going to be, well, that's your white privilege speaking, and that's your white fragility being upset. No, I'm wondering, in this Marxist environment that we currently find ourselves in, where we hear so much talk about equity, and remember, there's a big difference between equity and equality, or being equal. In this world where equality has been replaced with equity, where equal opportunity has been replaced with equity of outcome, why on earth is this being allowed to happen? Why have we not heard any governing official at the state level say, oh, I don't know, Governor Walz, or maybe Keith Ellison? Perhaps, maybe our Attorney General, who's tasked with enforcing the laws and the governor's mandates, maybe he should be stepping in and saying, hey, while I support your freedom to do such a thing in a normal circumstance, you're not going to be allowed to do this because we're not allowing the state fair or any other mass gatherings to happen. And so, if you go back a few videos ago where I talked about the Marxist influence of Saul Alinsky on our current world events, could you maybe see a link here, just a smidgen of a tie-in between those Marxist influences and the fact that this is not being decried in Minnesota? I don't care if they're all walking around with facial coverings from head to toe. This is going to be a mass gathering. It's going to be in Minneapolis. It's the largest urban area in the Twin Cities. Minneapolis, as you take in all of the Twin Cities, this particular neighborhood is going to be jam-packed, full of people. Facial coverings or not, and obviously there's going to be food. People are not going to be masked up while they're eating. The picture here is mac and cheese, and I can't tell, some sort of mixed vegetable dish, and I don't know, it looks like some sort of protein. People are not going to be walking around trying to eat that food through a mask, through a face covering. This is going to violate everything from social distancing to facial coverings. And let's say the governor, by the time this comes out, the governor hasn't instituted mandatory face coverings throughout the state. Minneapolis has one. Minneapolis has a mandatory facial covering. So maybe by the time August 16th rolls around, there won't be one. Maybe it'll be gone. Maybe we'll be back to normal. I don't know. How is this allowed? How is this not racist? How is this not the very epitome of ethnic hatred, or ethnicity, or ethnicism? That's what I meant to say. How is this not an exact example, a perfect example of the Marxist agenda where certain types of ethnicism are okay while others aren't? People, wake up. White, black, Asian, Hispanic, any mix thereof. This is explicitly what's wrong with people in the United States today. They won't call this for what it is. This is ethnicism. This is racism, if you will. Only black businesses. All black businesses. No one else could get away with this. No one. Do you understand that? No one in this country today could get away with this. And it needs to be called out for what it is. It's ethnic hatred. It's ethnicism. It's saying if you're not black and a business owner, you're not welcome at this event. I don't get it. And everybody's okay with it. People are just walking around blissfully ignoring. No state fair. The great Minnesota get-together is over. Well, maybe I can do business at the blacks. Nope, sorry. You aren't the right ethnicity. You're not black. Even if you own a business, you cannot come over here. You're not going to be allowed in. And why? Why? This doesn't make me angry. This literally breaks my heart because it tells me that people right now are more wrapped up in seeing the color of a person's skin than they are with the content of their character. And while the organizers of this might deny that there's any kind of Marxist ideology behind this, and maybe they wouldn't, maybe they would openly embrace it. It just, I don't know. It just seems to me to be a double standard. So here's the deal. This is wrong, and it shouldn't be allowed to happen. Not because they shouldn't be allowed to have their own get-together. I think anybody should be allowed to have their own get-together. I don't care what their ethnicity is. If a bunch of lily white people from southwestern Minnesota want to get together and have a get-together, and they want to celebrate their European heritage, fine. Who cares if they want to get together and eat lutefisk and leska and pickled herring? You know what? Who cares? The average person isn't going to want to go to that. But in the day and age where the idea of excluding somebody, I'm going to say that differently. In this day and age where the idea of someone being excluded because they're not white is considered a hate crime. And hate crime legislation says that any person who is left out or targeted because of their ethnicity or the color of their skin or their gender or anything else like that, it is considered a hate crime. People are being exclusively left out from being part of this as an organized event. If this turns out to be true and goes forward, this is a violation not only of the governor's standards for social distancing and the shutdown of mass gatherings for the safety of the people and all of that. This is a violation of the very creed of modern American society, which is you can't do that. But they're going to be able to get away with it because it's politically and socially expedient right now to allow these things out of guilt. And it should not be. It should not be. I personally don't want to take part in an event that's only for a particular ethnic group. I hate that kind of garbage. I hate it. My religious beliefs, my spiritual beliefs, my religious practices despise ethnicism, despise racial divide, despise it. My God has said to me that the gospel is for all people, and he does not favor one ethnicity over another when it comes to salvation. And because my God does not favor one ethnicity over another, I am not going to favor one ethnicity over another. And that extends to how I do everything. Period. My friends are not picked based on their ethnicity. My people who I allow into my family sphere are not picked based on their ethnicity. The places that I go are not picked based on ethnicity. The people I associate with in different ways is not based on ethnicity. And it shouldn't be for anybody. Not only is this a violation of cultural norms right now, even though it's socially acceptable for them to do this, this is also sinful to target or single out people based on ethnicism and make this about one particular ethnicity. It's wrong. It needs to be called out. It needs to be pointed out for the hatred that it is. And it makes one wonder, if somebody were to show up and say, hey, I want to take part, I would like to be included as a business, even though I'm not black, can I please come and sell my wares? And I wonder how that would turn out. And there again, this could all be a ruse, this could be a setup, this could be a joke, somebody could be perpetrating a hoax. I don't know. I have yet to see anybody deny this yet. I've seen references to it pulled down. Facebook wouldn't allow me to post about it as a main post. I had to put it in as a comment. And when Facebook starts to do that, that tells me that there's something going on. They're trying to hide something. It violates their algorithms, if you will. So just think about that. This isn't right. Not because I'm angry. People have the freedom to assemble with whoever they want to assemble with. This isn't right because it flies in the face of everything we're being taught right now. And it flies in the face of biblical teaching. We are all one race. We are all one ethnicity. There is neither white nor black. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither male nor female. There is no Scythian nor barbarian. We are all one in Christ if we're believers, and Christ does not offer salvation to people just because of their ethnicity. So there. Resist. As always, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for being open-minded. Thanks for listening. I would ask that over here in the corner, somewhere on your screen, you hit the subscribe button. It's important, not for me, but because mainstream media, legacy media, isn't going to get the word out. They're not going to let people who don't toe the established line speak. So for the sake of liberty and for the sake of the defense of this nation, small little independent voices like mine need to be heard, especially the interviews. It's got very little to do with my commentary and a lot more to do with the interviews and the people who are affected when liberties are tread on. So once again, hit the subscribe button, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much.